Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Middleman. I'm Brent, and I'm middle-aged in middle management in middle America and in a midlife crisis. And in this rant, I will explain why I think the NBA can pass soccer as the biggest sport in the world. I hope you enjoy it. It has become cliché to say that Americans think the world revolves around the United States, and whatever is popular stateside must be popular around the globe. But now that the internet and social media have shrunk the world, and, contrary to popular opinion, have brought us all closer together, Americans have come to the stark realization that this is just not true. Some examples of sports that are hugely popular globally but have just not caught on in America would be cricket, which is an even more boring version of baseball, rugby, which is an even less civilized version of football, and Formula One racing, which, I must admit, is a much better version of NASCAR, but we Americans love our left-hand turns and trunk space. But the very best example of something that is extremely popular worldwide, yet has been soundly rejected by the majority of US citizens, is soccer. Yes, soccer, not football. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean we won't call it what we want. Soccer is by far the most popular sport on Earth. An estimated 4 billion people either watch and or play soccer. A good way to illustrate just how big soccer is compared to America's most popular sport, football, is to compare the viewership of football's biggest game, the Super Bowl, to that of soccer's biggest game, the Champions League final. I will not use the World Cup final because that does not happen every year, so it is not an apples to apples comparison, but just so you know, over 1 billion people watched the 2018 Men's World Cup final match. The 2020 NFL Super Bowl had just under 100 million television viewers. The 2019 UEFA Champions League final had 380 million television viewers. That's not even close. At this point, you might be thinking, if soccer is 3 times as popular as America's biggest sport, how could basketball have any chance of catching and surpassing it as the biggest sport in the world? And that would be a legitimate question. So let's start by looking at how basketball compares to football, and then we will come back to how it can take down the Goliath. The NFL, the most watched sport in the US, has been trying for years to break into the global marketplace with very little success. The world is just not interested in our modern-day helmeted gladiators. In fact, football is now on the decline in the United States for a host of reasons, but the top of the list would be the concussion problem. Parents just do not want their kids playing football. So if football is declining in the US, then it probably doesn't stand much of a chance globally. At the same time, soccer is still struggling mightily to get a foothold, no pun intended, in America, one of the world's biggest sports marketplaces. The combination of these factors has left the door open for another sport to enter the realm of global domination, and I believe that sport is basketball. Let's take a look at what has led to soccer's rise to global dominance, and at the same time, I will show that not only does basketball have these same traits, but it also has additional factors that will allow it to surpass soccer in the near future. Soccer owes its rise to the top not only to how long it has been around, humans have been kicking balls around longer than Draymond Green, but also to the fact that you can play the game anytime, anywhere. Unlike in America, most of the world is extremely poor. They cannot afford expensive equipment like most sports require, but to play soccer, you just need a ball. Well, humans have also been throwing balls through hoops for a very long time, and basketball can also be played almost anywhere with very little equipment. In fact, basketball was invented by a poor farmer named James Naismith who was looking to pass the time by throwing a ball into a peach basket. Neither sport requires any special, and more importantly, expensive equipment, and they can even be played alone, unless you are a goalie. And just like how most people in the world are not rich, most people are not tall either. In soccer, size doesn't matter, unless you are a goalie. And yes, in basketball, the taller player has historically had an advantage. But modern-day basketball is evolving to utilize smaller, faster shooters to win, which means people of all shapes and sizes can compete. Unlike sports like football, baseball, and even soccer, basketball fans can sit right down on the court, close enough where players can hear what spectators are saying. In big markets like New York and Los Angeles, Famous fans sitting close to the court like Spike Lee and Jack Nicholson are as much a part of the hometown team as the players themselves. Football, baseball, and even soccer seem so far away even if you have front row seats. Also, a full game of basketball can be played with as little as 2 people. In fact, due to the success of the Big 3 League in America, a 3-on-3 basketball league with ex-NBA players started by Ice Cube, 3-on-3 basketball will even be featured in the Olympics. What other major sport could earn a spot in the Olympics with less than a full team taking the field? This is going to be the perfect opportunity for basketball to showcase its superiority over soccer. Another thing basketball has in common with soccer is the visibility of the players. Football and hockey players wear helmets, and baseball players wear hats. Because basketball and soccer players do not wear any headgear, fans can easily recognize them. Basketball gets the edge here though, because a basketball court is much smaller than a soccer field, and there are less players on a team. This makes basketball players much easier for the casual fan to get to know. This easy visibility is a big reason why professional basketball players have truly embraced and excelled on social media. Basketball players who have used social media to allow fans access to their lives have been rewarded with larger endorsement deals and off-season paychecks for playing in exhibitions in other countries. Technology has shrunk the world, and the NBA has been on the forefront. Fans worldwide are mesmerized by the size of NBA players and their lifestyles. Yes, some soccer players have become media icons, but only a select few have been able to get name recognition in America. NBA icons like LeBron James and Stephen Curry are not only superstars in America, but thanks to social media and the NBA's global marketing, they are recognized in nearly every country on Earth. Fans all over the globe feel like they have access to NBA players, which makes them want to pick up a basketball and be like LeBron. Finally, the best argument for why basketball is ready to surpass soccer is that soccer is just boring. As much bad press as LeBron gets for taking plays off, he really cannot walk around and rest like a soccer player can. I know I will get a ton of comments about this particular point. Brent, you just don't understand the sport and the intricacies of the strategy, blah blah blah. Yes, you are right, I do not really get it. But for a sport to be the most popular in the world, shouldn't I get it? In basketball, any player on the team can have a significant impact on the game at any time. It is almost like any player on the court can be the quarterback, or goal-scoring forward, or starting pitcher on every single play. This creates the potential for a highlight at any moment during the game. This is not really true in the other major sports, and it is what makes basketball just so much fun to play and to watch. Yes, a goal in soccer is extremely exciting because it is rare, but that doesn't make that time in between goals any less boring. Basketball not only gives us exciting game-winning shots and last-minute heroics, but we also get exhilarating dunks and incredible shots all throughout the game. Now, I don't know if basketball will pass soccer in the next 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, but the change is coming. Soccer had its time, and it will remain popular because it is ingrained in cultures all around the world. If a soccer player misses a game-winning goal, he may get shot when he gets back to his hometown. At the moment, nobody is going to shoot LeBron after he misses a last-second shot. This type of fanaticism will be extremely difficult for basketball to overcome, but I never said it was going to be easy. I just said that it was going to happen. Some of the best players on every NBA team were not born in America, and basketball leagues are growing every year in Europe, Russia, China, and Australia. Now, I don't know what it will take for basketball to break into Latin America, which may be the final barrier to basketball's global domination, but I believe it can be done. We are talking about a game that grew from a poor farmer tossing a ball into a peach basket to the only sport that has found a way to be successful during a global pandemic. A game that has captured the imaginations of 1 billion Chinese citizens, and a game that created Dennis Rodman, ambassador to North Korea. This is the game I believe can take over the world. I'm Brent, the middleman. Thank you for watching.